Hi, I'm Wayne Alaroot for Personal Liberty. Wasn't that refreshing? Don't you wish we had Benjamin Netanyahu as president instead of Obama? I took a sampling among my friends, all smart, educated business owners, men of substance, many of them self-made millionaires, and every one of them said if they had a choice after watching that speech, they would choose Bibi over Obama for president of the United States. Now, the media will concentrate on the substance of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Bibi Netanyahu's speech. I will too. But I want to first look at the style. You see, I'm a business and motivational speaker who speaks all over the globe, often to audiences in the thousands or tens of thousands. I understand that communication, charisma, chutzpah, and salesmanship are necessary to be a great speaker. Bibi gets an A+ in all 4 categories. He delivered the speech of a lifetime. Americans in the world just got a lesson in chutzpah. That's the Jewish word for balls, cojones, audacity. No one else in the world could have pulled off what Bibi did. Talk about a masterful speech. He walked into a joint session of the U.S. Congress like he owned the joint, like he was the president of the United States. He received 29 standing ovations like the president. If you just dropped in from another planet, you would have assumed you were watching U.S. President Netanyahu give his State of the Union. Quite amazing. Keep in mind, Bibi's the leader of a tiny nation with the population of some anonymous, obscure, insignificant African nation. Yet he held court over the U.S. Congress for almost an hour like he was the most powerful man in the world, like he was Winston Churchill, like he was the leader of America or Russia or China or Germany. That's chutzpah. Can you imagine the look on the faces of Barack Obama, Michelle, and Valerie Jarrett? I would have paid $1 million to be a fly on the wall of the White House during that speech. Can you imagine the looks on the faces of the leaders of every Muslim nation on earth? Oh, to be a fly on the wall of the presidents or prime ministers or leaders of every Muslim nation watching that speech. How about the looks on the faces of the leaders of ISIS? Can't you picture them saying, Israel's leader gets the attention of the world by addressing a joint session of Congress, and we have to set fire to prisoners in cages to get the world's attention? And that vibe. Bibi gave off the vibe that he alone holds the key to saving the world. And maybe, just maybe, he does. Now to the substance of Bibi's speech, saving the world. Bibi walked onto the biggest stage in America, Obama's stage, and embarrassed Obama. He schooled him. He took him to the woodshed at Obama's lectern. And here's the masterful part. He killed Obama with kindness. Bibi pulled off a speech ripping America's president to shreds in front of the political leadership of America, in front of the Democratic leadership, in front of the American people. And he did it like only a master of communication, chutzpah, and salesmanship could, by first praising him, by loving Obama to death, by thanking him, by showering him with compliments, and then he proceeded to strip him naked and funnel him into submission. What was the main takeaway of the speech? That you can't reward bad behavior, that you've got to punish bad behavior, that you can't agree to deals with tyrants, terrorists, liars, thieves, and murderers whose word can't be trusted for a second, that the only deal worth doing punishes Iran and takes away her nuclear capabilities until she changes her behavior, until Iran stops supporting and funding terrorism, until Iran stops vowing to annihilate her neighbor Israel and kill all the Jewish people in the world, until Iran checks their aggressive support of militant, radical Islam all over the world. That to allow any nuclear capability for a militant Muslim nation is suicide for the entire world. What a great point. Do you understand the chutzpah of Bibi? The leader of tiny Israel giving Obama lessons in negotiation? That was more entertaining to conservatives like me than watching American Sniper. I asked my family to please pass the popcorn. Bibi made 3 great points that literally eviscerated and emasculated Obama. Number 1, the art of negotiation. Bibi compared negotiating with Iran to negotiating in a Persian bazaar. Hilarious to hear that coming from a world leader. If they threaten to walk away, let them, Bibi said, because they'll be back. It takes an Israeli to understand the human nature of Persians. That threat of walking away is just a part of negotiating. Bibi gets that. Can Obama be that stupid that he doesn't? Bibi sure made him seem that stupid, but I know Bibi knows what I know. He just can't say it in public. Obama's not stupid. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's not on Israel's side. So Bibi had to play a masterful game of chess with Obama. So he painted him as naive and stupid. He embarrassed him in front of the world. He made it clear the deal Obama has negotiated is Neville Chamberlain all over again. It's a repeat of the worst deal ever agreed to in world history, Chamberlain's deal with Adolf Hitler. Number 2, Bibi made it clear that Iran is not a normal country, so they shouldn't be treated like a normal country. They are a militant Islamic country. Obama could never say that. Obama can't even use the words militant and Islamic in the same sentence. He thinks Islamic is a compliment. He thinks that Islam was a founding religion of America. Bibi understands who he's dealing with. Bibi pointed out that Iran is a rogue terrorist state no different than ISIS. What a great comparison. Iran's the enemy of ISIS, so he had to make this point. Iran and ISIS are the same people. They want the same thing. They say it, they tweet it. Iran wrote it in their constitution. They're dedicated to killing, conquering, converting, and enslaving first the entire Middle East and then the world. Iran is only fighting ISIS to determine who gets to do it in the name of Allah. Who gets to kill you and me? And then he drove home the main point. The enemy of your enemy is your enemy. I hope Obama was wearing a cup, because if he wasn't, he may be down for a while. Number 3, Bibi made a simple, clear point that anyone can understand. Forget the fancy words of lawyers and Ivy Leaguers like Obama meant to obscure, confuse, distract, and deceive the people. Bibi spoke from the heart. He painted a picture of militant radical Muslims like ISIS and Iran and how they act. They cut off heads, they torture, they stone people to death, they throw gays off buildings, they parade prisoners in cages, they set people on fire, they kill women and children, they rape women and children. Even babies are mutilated at the hands of militant radical Muslims. And Obama wants to allow them to possess nuclear weapons. Who's the madman here? Obama thinks they'll change their behavior. He thinks they'll be less aggressive with a nuclear weapon in their hands. No wonder Obama didn't show up at the speech. At this point, he'd be naked. The whole world could see our emperor has no clothes. He's a joke. No one watching can forget Bibi's lesson. No militant Islamic state can ever be allowed to possess nuclear weapons, or they will absolutely use them. No one in the world will ever again sleep soundly. No one's children will ever again be safe. Bibi made it clear Obama's deal with Iran allows them to possess nuclear weapons. It's only a matter of when, and that deal cannot be allowed to pass. I think I could hear Obama and Valerie Jarrett screaming at the TV set inside the White House. Bibi embarrassed them. He thrashed them. He emasculated them. He eviscerated them. By the way, not only is it clear Obama does not like Israel, that Obama is a Muslim sympathizer, that Obama is trying to weaken Israel and put our people in danger, but the ruler of Obama's White House is Valerie Jarrett. Where was Valerie Jarrett born? Iran. Obama's actions and negotiations are no mistake, fluke, coincidence. They're not done out of naivete. Bibi knows that as well as I do. So he had to deconstruct this president and his Iranian-born Svengali in a nice way, in front of Congress, in Obama's own house. Bibi had to kill Obama with kindness. He could not win over the American people by ripping our president or making accusations in his own home court. So he never once named Obama as the bad guy, never once blamed Obama for this bad deal or for bad negotiations. He never said out loud, your president's trying to hurt Israel, but he didn't have to. We all know. Anyone with a brain who isn't blind knows. Bravo, Bibi. You just showed us all what a real leader looks like. Someone who stands up to evil. Someone who knows how to negotiate in the face of another Hitler and do it with a jackhammer and a blowtorch. Congratulations, Bibi. You made a lot of smart Americans wish you were our president instead of Obama. And the bonus is, we all got a 2 for the price of 1. Bibi's speech destroyed both Iran and Obama. A 2-for-1 sale on the floor of the U.S. Congress? It's kind of like a Persian bazaar. I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty. See you next week. God bless America.